Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of The Grove Where We Met. This is a 5th edition D&D game set in the Feywild that is set in the world of Greyhawk. Today I am joined by some wonderful, wonderful folks. We are down a good druid furball child who could not make it tonight. We love you, Russ. Have good luck with everything that you're doing. You're going to be great. But we do have 3 other wonderful players who are eager to step back into the overly enchanted forests. We'll do a quick little go around, let everybody know who you are, your pronouns, your character's pronouns. And we'll start with you kind of all lonesome over there by yourself, PB.
I'm so lonely. Which way is it? Is Russ over here?
Other side. Other way.
Still over here.
Yeah.
I'm so sad. There's no one here for me. I am PB. I use she, her pronouns. And my character today is named, as far as I know, Rental, who also uses she, her pronouns. Though I think, oh gosh, what was the name I decided to go by?
Tall.
Tall.
Just tall? Yep. Yeah, that was great. Oh yeah, because I guess really the names don't matter right now because you all don't know your names. I don't know why I did that. It's fine. Just so the audience knows, I guess. Tara, we'll kick it next off to you. Hey, hello.
Hi, I'm Tara. I use she, her pronouns. My character is Sinisa, and she uses she, her. And her little pet pig, Santo, he, him.
More like...
Yeah.
That's it. That's yeah. And Kika, hey.
Hey, I'm Kika. I use she, her pronouns. My character is named Chrysanthemum, aka Chris, and she knows her name because it was on her dagger. And Chris uses she, her pronouns as well.
Fantastic. And my name is Gnome. I'm going to be your DM this evening, and I go by he, him pronouns, but we'll be playing an assortment of characters and an assortment of genders, because it's the Fey fucking wild. Now, before we kick off, and before we go into a little recap, because it's been 2 weeks since we played our very first episode of The Grove Where We Met. I have to keep looking at the screen to remind myself the title of the show because there were like 3 working titles and I can't remember which one stuck. It's fine. But I'd like to first take a moment and say thank you to everybody that supports the Greyhawk channel, specifically all the supporters over on Patreon and all the Twitch subscribers. Y'all are seriously amazing. And then we also want to send a shout out to Roll20, who supports the channel. They power all of the games here, and it is the world's leading virtual tabletop. And again, it is now the official supporter of the Greyhawk channel, so it's pretty awesome. I love using Roll20, and you can try it yourself over at Roll20.net. Also, another shout out to our official map sponsor, which is Heroic Maps. You could check out their library of more than 300 maps, which is insane. That's poggers, over on Drive-Thru RPG. And also another sponsor is Tabletop Loot. You could go to tabletoploot.com and enter Greyhawk with a capital G, capital H. Not sure if it's text specific on that, but definitely capital G, capital H in the coupon code box and get 15% off of your dice order. And then we also wanted to give a nice shout out to Devin Rue of RueInc.com and Cantrip Candles, who are also supporters of the channel. And our Patreon supporters Patreon supporters and Twitch subscribers can get a coupon code to RueInc.com and Cantrip Candles in the private section of our Discord. But with that being said, big shout out. Oh goodness. Okay, really big shout out to Chris. What's up? Thank you so much for those bits. There are ways that you could support this show, and that is by donating some bits or just donating to the channel. It looks like our players will be receiving a divine favor today, which is, I believe, a 1d6 that we get to roll, and it will help all of our lovely adventures here today. Let me pull up the list. It's somewhere. There we go. Let's see. Tara, do you have your dice handy? Would you like to roll a 1d6? Let's see what Chris just got you all tonight.
6.
You got a 6. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to roll a 1d4 because I don't have a 1d3, and we'll see which one of you will grab it. 1, 2, 3. PB, you get what is known as Divine Efficacy, a d20 roll that can be added to one single damage or healing. Holy crap.
Darn. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Hope you get that nat 20 and just overheal like crazy. Wow. Big thank you to Chris for that. Really appreciate it, my friend. Also, shout out to everybody hanging out here in chat tonight. We see you, we love you, and we appreciate you chilling with us. But last week, 2 weeks ago, just kidding, the grove where we met, our adventurers woke up in the middle of an overgrowth, in a bed of moss with rocks all around and trees that are incredibly tall and incredibly wide, with mushroom caps that are even bigger, so large that they could house actual creatures such as gnomes. Our adventurers woke up not knowing who they were, not knowing where they were. Your typical case of amnesia. And as they were trying to figure out who they were and who everybody else was, they were attacked by a group of giant weasels. And when they thought that they were going to take them out quite quickly, another group actually came by and seemingly almost overpowered them, until the help of a small little gnome by the name of Tarova the Old came by and tossed into the fray 2 smoke bombs, so to speak, that kind of warded away the remaining weasels. And as the adventuring party climbed down from their tree, while they were at that point struggling to figure out how to get our rangers boar up the tree for safety, that was a thing that was fantastic. The party was introduced to Tarova, and Tarova invited them, or more so forced them politely to come and have some tea with her, this little old ancient looking gnome. And they went into her home a little bit away, about a 30-minute walk through the woods, where they were greeted by this little cottage made inside of a giant mushroom. And the old home with the old woman, she was clearly, well, maybe not so clearly, but very one with the nature around her, and seemingly lived here all alone by herself, and had an array of dried fruits and vegetables and other plants that were just kind of hanging all around in this bizarre little home. And she did offer, though, to help everybody reclaim their memories, knowing that the Feywild is notorious for playing with the mind, and she may have experienced this in her own past a time or two, or it's just age. She really just doesn't remember at this point, but she needed a couple of ingredients. So, like a lowly level 1 quest for our level 1 adventures, playing World of Warcraft for the first time, we ventured into the forest, where they had to collect some berries. In particular, because I love the names of all of these things, and I want the opportunity to say them again, because I don't know when that'll pop up. But they collected some bloomed inkberry, some thin-leaved butterfly pea, 7 full stems of pokeweed, and a bouquet of sneezewort, which are really just white perennials. So they were successfully able to gather the items that they needed to create this tea for Tarova. And in the process, though, as they were kind of scouting out, our druid friend, whose name we still don't actually know, seemed to have transformed himself into a wolf. The party not sure where their very tall Furbolg friend had went and why a wolf was in his place, who just kept following them back to the toadstool. We're going to go ahead and start there. So you are all heading back with a wolf and Santo.
I believe Chris thought the wolf ate their Furbolg friend and then tied a rope around his neck as like a leash and adopted him as a pet.
Yes.
And called him Randy.
Yes. Oh. I love it. It's great. So Randy, the PC wolf, who is not here today, and that's what you get when you aren't here. You're now another player's pet. So you have this wolf on a leash, and are making your way back to Tarova's.
And now he can fit through the front door.
Now he can fit comfortably through the front door instead of having to go through the back way and then fill up the majority of the place. Gnome hovels, what can I tell you? They're cozy. But you do make your way back to Rova's home, and do you just enter? Do you knock? What do you do?
I'm gonna knock. I don't know about anyone else.
Gonna wait behind and watch.
Okay. So you go ahead and you knock, and you hear a couple of like pots and pans, like metal kind of banging against each other, as if maybe little old Tarova kind of knocked something over on her way to you and possibly kicked it underneath a cabinet to not have to deal with it right now out of frustration. And she swings open the door and it's like, hello, welcome. Can I help you?
Hello. You may not recognize us because we don't have the tall one right now, but we've gained a dog.
Oh, look at that dog. She like waddles a little closer and just starts like ruffling its head with seemingly no fear. It's a forest creature.
His name's Randy. He's a very good dog.
Oh, I bet you're a good dog. I'm not interested in whatever you're selling.
Oh,
but thank you for stopping by.
Are you sure? We have these plants that you asked us to go get for you to make tea for us.
I didn't ask anything. She just blinks at you with those little beady eyes.
Tanisa literally just starts laughing in the background.
Are you trying to trick me?
Wow. No, I don't do tricks here. I'm too old for that.
I'm gonna pull out the smoke bombs that she gave me. I'm gonna come up closer and I'm gonna hand them out. Just be like,
In what?
And just be like, ma'am, I obviously you don't remember us very well, but I did want to return these since we didn't need them. I don't want to leave you without protection in this weird forest.
How did you get those? Those are mine.
They are.
Are you thieves?
No, ma'am. You helped us with the weasels a little bit ago, and then you asked us
those
to go.
Damned weasels.
Those damn weasels, yes.
Any enemy of a weasel is a friend of mine. Come in. She just like moves out of the way and lets you enter her home once more.
Yes, I enter and I immediately try to sit Randy down on one of the toadstools seats.
Roll animal handling. It's still a PC.
Okay. Oh, 17.
All right. Oh yeah, you're good. Yeah, so you successfully kind of like with a couple like tugs and a little like push on the back, Randy will sit down and just kind of like stare at you waitingly like, yo, what's up?
Now,
What
wait
can I do?
here, Randy. We need to get some tea. You can have some if you're good.
And Randy kind of looks to you, this wolf with kind of floppy ears. It's a little bit of an unusual looking wolf. And he's just like,
That's right, Randy. This is what we got these plants for. No, we need to have this old gnome lady make it for us, and we have to wait for her to finish. It might take a while.
And he just kind of sits there like wagging his big old bushy wolf tail. And meanwhile, though, Tarova is kind of like all up in Tall's business, just kind of like sniffing at you. Do I know you from somewhere? You look so familiar. Did you just not say anything? You just let her... Oh. Okay.
I'm
Wow.
just gonna let that happen.
Wait, what?
I'm just gonna let that happen.
And yeah, so she just kind of like, she's staring at you. She knows you from somewhere. And
she heroically rescued you from a pack of angry weasels.
oh, did she now?
Yes.
Roll me a persuasion or deception, whichever one is better for you.
I'm pretty sure this is deception. I got a 14.
Okay. I got a 12.
Nice.
Oh, I'm sure you did. Those weasels are terrible, I tell you. Come, sit down. And she like kind of grabs at you again, Tall, and kind of like pulls you into the little kitchen area so you can sit down at one of the really tiny gnome-sized stools. And then kind of like signals everybody else, come. You all look like you could use a little more meat on your bones. I have I guess I already made supper. Well, come have supper with me. And she'll like start kind of like dishing out a little bit of like, it looks like maybe like a beef stew of some sort, but on top is like a chunk of what looks like astroturf. It's just this like brightly green mossy grass concoction that's just popped right on top. And she hands this, little gnome-sized dish to each of you.
Thank you. This looks lovely. You know what would go great with this? Some tea.
Oh, that is a very good idea. Let me go make some tea.
Wait, as luck would have it, we have these wonderful plants specifically for tea. We have this bloomed inkberry, some thin-leaved butterfly pea, 7 whole stems of pokeweed, and a whole bouquet of sneezewort.
Oh, you have all of those ingredients, you don't say. That makes a very, very special tea. If I remember correctly, it's for a memory tea. Do you need to remember something?
Why, yes, I do.
Well, since you were oh so kind to help me before, I will go ahead and make you this lovely tea. Although, I'm going to keep the the pokeweed. That's more for like indigestion. So I'm just going to pocket that.
And she like takes the pokeweed for you and like quickly like puts it in a drawer and like slams the drawer shut. But we'll take the rest of the ingredients for you and start making this tea. And is there anything you want to do in the meantime while the tea boils?
Gonna keep Santo away from that damn bag.
Oh, but that bag is so tempting. There's definitely like a grain or like dried mushrooms or dried meat. Like something is in that bag. He had already gotten a thread out from it, so another little tug, and that might that corner might come right off, and he'll be a good little pig.
Ma'am, I know you're making tea, but can I have a question with you?
Oh, yes, of course. What can I do for you?
Not to be rude or anything, but my friend over here, his name is Santo. He really likes this bag. Would it be okay if I give him something from it?
Oh, he's not going to like that. You're not going to like that. It'll make the stinky. Let me get you something else. Hang on.
And she like kind of scurries away for a second. Not that you can't see where she's going. It's literally just a giant fucking circle. But she'll reach into a drawer and pull out a box and kind of like take out just a giant chunk of like dried meat and hand it over to you.
Do you think this will satisfy you?
I hope so. Thank you so much, ma'am.
No, you are most welcome. Remind me, what are all of your names?
That's kind of what we need the tea for.
I'm Chrysanthemum, and this is Randy.
Oh. Well, it's very nice of you, Chrysanthemum, to make the tea for your forgetful friends. I understand how that goes. I normally have these ingredients handy, but sometimes I forget that I need the ingredients in the first place. But here, it looks like it should be done. And she's going to take the water off the stove and go ahead and start pouring each of you just a very tiny cup worth of this tea. It is piping hot, and she hands you each a little cup of it. And do be careful, though. Sometimes the memories could come back maybe a bit more scrambled, just like a morning breakfast.
Chrysanthemum's already drinking all of hers.
Just down the hatch, just like a shot, which is basically, it's like the size of a shot glass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can Randy have some too?
Well, I mean, I don't, it's not
He
really.
needs to remember how to play fetch.
Oh, that is so sad.
And she'll like go ahead and pour a little bit in like this like a dish so that Randy can lap it up. And it tastes actually quite lovely. There's a little hint of like sour aftertaste, and it's probably from the perennials. But otherwise, it's quite a pleasant tea. And as you kind of all stand there with your kind of weird dishes of beef and moss, essentially, and waiting for the effects of the tea to kind of kick in, I do need you all to make a Constitution saving throw. Actually,
Ooh.
just kidding. First, I need you to make a Wisdom saving throw. Then, a Constitution saving throw.
Wisdom is a dirty 20 for me.
Okay. So you
That
roll
is
this.
And Constitution is another dirty 20.
Oh damn! I got a hot 5.
Oh no, Renta. No, that was for your Wisdom save.
Yeah.
Ooh, yikes! Big yikes. Okay.
Do you need to roll for Randy?
Yes, we do need to roll for Randy. Would you like to roll for Randy? I can roll for Randy.
You can do, I think, because you have access to Randy's stats.
Oh, dear Randy. That was not great either. Okay, so that is a 10 total for Randy. Okay, so Sinisa, you were successful. Kika, Chris was successful. So yeah, so, wow, with a total 5.
Yep, I rolled a 3. I got a 16 on my con save though, so like, you know.
Okay, that's very good. Speaking of con save, let's do Randy's real quick. You should not have me roll. Like, if you don't know my brand, it's normally not good rolls. That was a natty 2. So poor Randy.
Was the pokeweed to stop the indigestion caused by the tea?
No, it's for. I get a little upset stomach every now and then. You know how eating beef can be occasionally, and I do still enjoy a bit of spice, but I just can't quite tame the fire inside, and that's what the pokeweed is for. Now, often, when trying to recall memories, using magical means, and as she's like trying to explain why the pokeweed isn't important in the tea, as you start hearing the dog like, or the wolf going like and the poor puppers starts heaving back into the bowl. PB or Tall, you feel the same way, but you manage to keep it down. You steel yourself enough to not lose your lunch, and the others don't quite feel this way. In fact, instead of paying attention to the new sounds of disgust that are currently coming from this tiny little hovel, the two of you are kind of high, to say the least. The
what kind of high?
The world around you, not quite LSD level high, but like a low-key LSD high. Colors seem brighter. They also smell delicious. And you swear that you can hear the singing of the woods around you. It is both horrifying, because you've more than likely never experienced the sound of the woods literally singing to you, and also just enchanting. And as you're almost kind of lulled by the sounds that the forest says, you can start recalling some of your memories. As you close your eyes, you can kind of drift through in and out of the songs and of the scents that you are now picking up, of your childhood, of warm, lovely little places that you felt safe in. You can recall people who meant things to you. And by the time that you open your eyes, you can recall your names. You don't fully have your memories back, but you have many of your good memories, and at least your name. Unfortunately for Randy and Tall, you don't experience this. Either the dosing wasn't enough, or the magic that was used on you or is part of you isn't ready to relinquish those memories at this point in time. So I'm so sorry, but you're stuck right now.
I'm like, while my two companions are high off their ass, I'm just over here with Randy. I'm just like, it's okay, just let it all out, Randy. It's okay. Just keep going. It is okay. I'm like petting him, just making sure he's okay. He finishes retching, then he starts again. I'm like, just let it all out.
Yeah.
You'll feel better afterwards.
And I think Tarova will go ahead and like get a bowl of water and sit it down by Randy. But Sinisa and Chris, what's going on? What are you feeling? What are you seeing?
Well, to go with the earlier memory that Sinisa actually had with the teeth on the door, um, her memories kind of flood back, make her feel very warm. And there's sense of tanning leather and um, warmth, fire. And she sees an older woman who seems to flutter in and out of her memory, um, bringing her food and showing her how to hold her bow correctly and teaching her how to use different tools in the shop. And the way that she remembers her name is when the woman reaches out and pushes some hair from her face and says, um, "You're such a good girl, Sinisa. Don't let anybody tell you differently."
It's such a lovely memory. And you kind of focus on that for a while before your high, like waking from a delightful dream, comes to an end. And it only lasted maybe a minute or so, but it seems like you got to experience the best of your life in just a brief moment as you kind of slowly fade out from the high. How about you, Chris? How are you feeling at this point?
Chris remembers waking up early in the morning and running downstairs to help her father bake a batch of scones, like a special family recipe. And he's basically teaching it to her for the first time. And as they go, he's very kind and gentle to her and guiding her, but letting her do all the actual work so she learns correctly. And after they come out, her dad tells her that they need to let them cool, and goes outside to get like some other work done. And she grabs 2 scones, still hot, and like wrapped in cloth napkins to keep her hand safe, and sneaks out to run off to the woods. And as she enters the woods, a crow flies by or flies over, and they share scones together.
That's so cute. So cute. So you, just like Sinisa, slip away from this really peaceful moment of time to kind of have your senses bashed by the heavy, more earthy sense of what life is inside of a giant toadstool with dried plants hanging all over the place. And Toll and Randy pretty much kind of over their little episode, but don't seem to be nearly as tranquil as the two of you.
That was good. Can I have another?
Oh, I do not recommend that, because, see, if you have too much, you could forever lose your memories. And that is terrible. You definitely do not want that to happen.
Fine. Okay.
I'm gonna look over to Santo and get down, like crouch down for a minute and rub his ears, behind his ears real quick. Hey, you've seen what happened with the wolf and the other. I feel fine, but do you want to try?
And he kind of like those thick, beady little eyes looking at you, and then back to the wolf that just puked everywhere, and then back to you. No.
You okay? Gonna ruffle like the mohawk bristly hair, and it's all right. It's all right. You don't have to. You're a cute little boy as you are.
He's just like happily like gnawing on the piece of dried meat. So Tarova kind of like looks all at you now.
So, did you remember what you forgot?
Some of it. Not all of it, but some of it.
What she said.
But that's good. Do you remember your names in the very least?
Chrysanthemum.
Yes, we knew your name, but what about yours and yours?
I'm apparently Sunisa.
Well, that's a lovely name.
It's different. Sounds a little weird on my tongue, honestly.
And what about you, big one?
It's just like
Yeah, I'm tall.
to
I'm
talk.
just- no, I didn't get anything except a queasy stomach.
Poppy. Okay, so sometimes this doesn't work.
You don't say.
Well, I do say, and I just did. So, let me tell you, you should probably go seek out, if you can't remember everything or even your name. How are you a hero again? Anyways, look, if you head over, to the Heartmont Hollow, there they have, you could find a very wise creature there. She's a bit peculiar. Definitely sticks to the trees a bit too much, I think. You need to sometimes get out and go have fresh air. But her name is, what is her name? I always forget her name. Briaris. You should seek her out. She should be able to help you completely reclaim your memories.
And where does one find this Heartmont Hollow?
Well, that is very easy. Look, you need to just seek out the taller trees until the trees are all tall. And the ground becomes smooth. It's somewhere that way.
It just points in a direction.
That way.
Yes.
And what do we mean by smooth? Like smooth like rocks or smooth like desert?
Less, my feet always hurt to this area. There's too many hills and stones. I hate them all, but I won't go over there. It's too far of a walk for me. But yes, more like, it's just smooth walking. There's some pebbles, but it's not as bad as over here.
Somehow that was less descriptive than your first example. Okay.
Well, I'm not an author. I don't paint word pictures.
I think she means like flatlands with trees. Tall trees.
Very tall trees. They're so tall. Much taller than the ones over here.
And in that direction.
Yes.
And do you know this person? Have you met her before, Briellis?
Briaris, and I would be sure to get her name right. She's a little bit on the sensitive side. But have we met before? No, I don't think we've actually ever made acquaintance, but I'm very fond of her work. She does so much for the forest around here.
And like, not to be rude or anything, but like, what is Briaris?
What are you?
Are they like an elf? Are they a bear? A bird?
Bear? Why would a bear know how to manage memories? What you really do need help there. You should have maybe drank it faster.
Are they 3 badgers in one coat?
No.
Have you ever seen them outside of their coat?
Oh, that's No, I'm pretty sure that Briaris does not like clothing at all. Like none. It's
So Briaris
different.
likes to be naked?
She likes to be natural. It's okay. It's a thing. In the Heartmont Hollow, there's a group of people there who, I think they get a little too into the mushrooms, if you know what I mean.
No, I do not understand. Could you please elaborate?
They get into the mushrooms, if you know what I mean. Wink.
You mean they become friends with the mushrooms?
I mean, technically, we're in a mushroom. So, how much more in a mushroom can you get?
Sassy bitches. I fucking love it.
Well, I suppose you're accurate in making that type of statement, but I put they're peculiar, just very, very different. Is why I don't like to go over there.
Oh, they're into a very specific kind of mushroom.
Yes.
The kind that makes you high.
Well, it makes you something else. I
Makes
do
you
not
what?
recommend you try it. It's just no. You want to get your memories? Don't do that.
Okay. And since they like being naked, should we be naked when we approach them?
Oh, Rose, no! Goodness gracious, have some respect. Stay clothed, please. Goodness gracious, what is everything
I wasn't
doing
saying we
over
were
here?
going to disrobe
I'd
here.
let people into my house, and they say they want to disrobe, and goodness gracious.
So
Well, I am not ashamed of my body.
Well, you shouldn't be, but you should not disrobe in somebody else's house.
well, we
I
were
wasn't
gonna
gonna
say here. It
disrobe
was
inside.
yeah. We were gonna go meet the other ones, and they like to be disrobed. So it might be rude to be robed.
So can we use your name when we get there and just say we were sent by? Because all this just sounds a bit crazy and a bit much for me. I just got some memories back. Y'all talk about being high and naked, and
Well,
I just want to get home with my pig. That's all I want.
I mean, you were just technically high off your ass. Like,
You know what? Nobody asked me about that. I just wanted some memories back. Okay.
Look. My name is Tarova the Old. I don't care who you tell because nobody remembers me to begin with. You can all just leave because you are clearly ones with the trees. I don't like the tree people. Please just go.
She starts actually trying to scoop you all together and starts pushing you towards the door.
oh, if hold on, I'm just gonna stand still, so she
Yes.
stops pushing me.
She can't actually push.
Before we leave, no, please stop. You're just gonna hurt yourself. If you see the tall one, I'm sure you remember he had to come in the back way. If you see him, just tell him where we went. He might be invisible somewhere in this area. Maybe he got lost. He might come back here. Just tell him where we went.
Invisible. Oh my. I do have a tea for that. Is he permanently invisible?
Honestly, I feel like I might have just met him. Remember the memory thing? I've only seen it happen once, so I do not know how it works. But if he pops up, just let him know. If he is permanently invisible, if you could just put a coat on him or something, so we can see him later, that would be great. I'd really appreciate it.
Also, give him some of the tea because he also forgot his name.
I swear, if I find out that you've lost your memories because of those darn mushrooms, I swear!
And she just starts like trying to like make some more tea and get off to the
Oh,
side.
I have a question.
What is it?
Is there anyone that steals memories?
Well, I mean, anybody that steals memories,
Aside from the mushrooms.
aside from the mushrooms, well, not that I can, not that I can recall.
Okay.
All right, you children go have fun with your tree-loving friends. Don't touch the mushrooms, please. If you want to maintain your memories, please don't touch those mushrooms. Okay.
But if the ones of us who didn't get any memories back, can they touch the mushrooms?
No, you'll still lose even more. Get out! Go!
And she again keeps like trying to now get you out of her home.
Okay. No, be careful. That's the side with the sword. You'll hurt yourself. He's like, I walk myself. Thank you very much.
Do you all eventually go out?
Yeah, and I
I'll be
pull
the first
Randy
out.
along.
Okay.
Before I shut the door behind us, I'm going to turn around and just be like, thank you so much for your kindness, ma'am. And now that I have my memory back, I'm going to try my hardest to actually remember you. Thank you.
That is the nicest thing anybody has ever said to me. Nobody ever remembers to rover the old.
I'll do my best. I'll start walking
Okay.
with Santa.
Just close the door. You could all start heading in the direction she pointed you towards.
So who was that?
Tarova?
I was kidding. It's a joke.
Oh, sorry. So I'm going to start heading their direction.
Okay. So anything else that you guys want to do while you are kind of just walking around?
Does that count as a short rest at the very least? Because I'm almost dead.
Yes, yes, that absolutely will count as a short rest. So if you want to roll some hit die to replenish some HP, please feel free to do so.
Thank you.
As we go, I'm just going to make a daisy chain.
Okay. Very nice, very nice. Let me do this real quick. Okay, I need you all, as you are kind of walking in the direction, please make a survival check. Let's see how well you all can navigate over here.
Nat one.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh, that was so close to being good.
So not good.
A 7. God, it landed on the 16, and then at the last second, it went boop onto the 3.
No! Oh, that's the worst. I'm so sorry.
22.
22. Okay. So,
What about Randy?
Nope, that's a natural 6. What would keep you distracted as you are walking through this forest? Sinisa not included in here, but everybody else, as you're walking through this really lovely, seemingly slightly magic buzzing forest.
Should I roll for Santa too?
No, it's okay.
The shadows.
The shadows. What about the shadows?
When, for whatever reason, and I don't know why, Rental, at least at this moment, doesn't know, whenever she thinks she sees like a shadow even slightly move, whether it just be like a cloud passing by or something just crossing and the light just appearing and disappearing for a second, anything that flickers and is a shadow, her attention will immediately go over there and become distracted,
Mm.
worried for some unknown reason.
Okay. And it's not uncommon to want to be paranoid in a woodlands that especially that you don't know, and one that has such foreign foliage. You some of the trees seem familiar, but I mean, they're huge. They shouldn't get this big. There are colors on leaves and other plants that just probably don't exist from where you're home, from where you consider home. And Chris, what about you? What kind of keeps you distracted here in the forest?
I'm trying to weave rhododendrons into the daisy chain.
That's a fair use of time and attention. That's great. Tall, you do kind of like occasionally you'll catch like a bird or maybe a butterfly that just kind of like lifted off of a plant, but it doesn't feel like anything, or it doesn't seem like anything actually ominous is around you. However, Sinisa, you are paying a little more attention to the world around you, kind of focusing in on the strangely coded words from Tarova the Old. And she, as her voice kind of like rings through your head, that you know that you had to get to this area where the trees are taller than all the other trees around. You're kind of looking up more than anything, and we'll say it's probably been maybe about an hour or two of you all kind of traveling together, making some small talk, making lovely little jewelry, and you do notice while Tall is a little more interested in the shadows that the trees are now kind of casting down, slightly different than they were before. You notice that the ground becomes a little more easier to walk on, and the trees no longer allow for the sky to be seen. And the deeper and deeper you go, the darker and darker it gets. What do you do?
As it gets a little bit more darker, she's gonna start slowing down and hey, Chris, Tall, I think we either need to start really looking for something, or I think we might be getting close to where we're supposed to be. It feels a little different here, doesn't it?
I almost just like snap out of whatever I was not thinking / not thinking about. Like I should be thinking about something, but who knows what that is. And I look around and I say, yes, it does appear we are where the tall trees are.
My camera seems to have stopped working.
Oh no! Would you like us to take a quick little break? We could try to fix your camera, because we're about an hour in.
I guess if that's okay with you, I might have to just restart Zoom.
Okay, yeah, not a problem. Hang tight, everybody. We'll fix this a little conundrum and return. Give us like maybe 2 to 5 minutes. Go get yourselves something to snack on. Make sure you hydrate, and we'll see you in just a bit. Hang tight. Thanks for tuning in. welcome back to the Grove where we met. Thank you so much for your patience. We did have a little camera snafu. You know what? I hope it happens to all of us on this show because that just seems like it's our thing. It's it's a good luck charm. We'll say, but all of our technical issues are maybe set, and so we are going to go ahead and jump right back into the story. I believe our adventurers were just realizing that the ground does appear to be a little more smoother, and the trees so tall that the canopy itself blocks out the sky. So rare little bits of light are able to kind of trickle in, and in those areas where the sun does touch, you can see maybe a little bush or some more green in comparison to the rest of this particular forest floor. What are you all doing?
Can I start looking for tracks? Like humanoid tracks?
Yeah, sure.
And that's survival?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. That's a natural 1.
Oh. Yeah, no.
It's smooth.
It is very smooth. You were so focused on making sure that this is maybe the area that Tarova had told you to venture towards, that you just kind of like you want to look for the tracks, but you keep looking up to as you're continuing to walk, just to make sure you're heading in the right direction. Rental and Chris, what are you up to?
I am purposefully looking up, seeing if I could find these tree people, or at least catch a glimpse of one.
Okay. Do you want to roll anything? You want to roll a perception? Or
yeah, I'll try it at perception. Try out a different dice. If anything to do with this rolling well tonight.
You know, if you rolled on roll 20.
That is a hard no. That was a natural 1. That one is also dead to me.
No, we can't have a show if you all roll ones. Kika, I need you to do something and to roll a die, and for it to then not be a 1.
Okay.
You will all die if it's a 1.
I think the most in-character thing Chris would probably do is climb one of these trees.
Oh, good golly. Okay, that's going to be a challenge roll, because these trees are mountainously tall.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Can I use...
Did you roll?
Not yet, but
Okay.
I was wondering if I could use mold earth a bunch to make a bit of a staircase to get myself going.
How much earth can you move with mold earth? It's actually a really good spell, but I don't remember how much.
It's a 5-foot cube at a time.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and still roll for me though. You are able to mold the earth, but this is a much softer type of dirt. It's not like a dense clay or anything like that. So I want you to also roll. God, what would this even be? What would that be? I'm just gonna throw it in. Oh, nature. Is there a nature check? No. It's just
There is.
Yeah, there is. Okay, roll me a nature. It's not really for you. It's for the dirt. Okay, so you're able to start pushing a lot of the dirt upwards towards one of the tree, but eventually, I would say you could get about maybe 30 feet up with the dirt, casting over and over and over again to kind of like make this sort of dirt stairway up towards the tree, which just looks peculiar as heck. But towards the very top, the higher up that it gets, the more loose and less stable that earth becomes, and it just starts shifting around, and you could see it starting to kind of crumble off to the sides or rolling back down on the stairs. Thank you, 12-sided guy. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. How's it going?
Well, she mostly wants to run up this dirt staircase and use it to get momentum so she can start acrobaticsing up.
Okay. So these trees are not like the trees from before. Their branches are all at the top in the canopy. So you would have to climb it like you were climbing a very smooth, like, I don't know, my trees. Like a palm tree, but it's just very smooth.
This is a dumb tree design.
It's a weird forest, but they are really, really tall trees.
Can she get her 50 feet of rope all around the tree and then like tie it behind her, and so she can like walk herself up a bit, pull the rope up, walk herself up a bit?
Yeah. There's no climbing skill. Roll an athletics to see how well you can maintain yourself up on there.
Yay, athletics, my best skill.
It's a good skill to have. Yeah, Mulan and shit.
I am very glad I rolled a natural 19 because that gives me an 18 total.
Woo! Oh, wow. I did not realize that you were being sarcastic about your strength skill.
I was being very sarcastic.
All right, yeah. So you start climbing up this dang old tree, and you are getting pretty high up. Like, really high up. The closer you're getting to the canopy, there's nothing really that you could see. There might be like a bird's nest, some other type of nest here or there. But most of the trees, again, they have these massive leaves to them. Their branches kind of intertwining a bit with the other trees around, just completely blotting out the sky.
Well, if they're all intertwining, can I look for like ways that I can sort of climb and walk across these branches to get from tree to tree?
You could certainly try.
I will
just
try.
Gonna throw out there that you are probably like 100 feet in the air.
Yes, I'm aware. I'm
okay.
playing my character.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a good look.
Okay. Do a good look.
Okay, that's 19 total for a good look.
Okay. I mean, yeah, there's some branches that might be thicker than others. Some areas that are maybe a little more pressed up against each other. You could certainly try to walk across them or crawl across them or hang across them. That's possible.
I'm gonna try to tightrope walk across them, acrobatic style, and do like a leap from one to like a stable part to another stable part.
Okay. Please roll acrobatics. I have so much faith in your dice rolls, Kika, but I'm like still really nervous.
Well, that's a 19 total.
Oh, good God, thank you.
I'm probably a little too confident in my dice rolls in general.
Yeah, so you're able to make it over to the next tree, while 100 feet below you, Tall and Sinisa and Randy and Santo are just kind of, I don't know, what are you doing? You just watched Chris build a dirt path and then lumberjack her way up a tree, and she's kind of disappearing into the canopy.
I'll cast dancing lights to float around below me so they can keep track of where I'm going. It has a 120-foot range, so it can be like hovering like right at their eye level.
Mm-hmm.
Is she casting those lights because she thinks we're gonna follow her? Because I'm not getting my pig up that damn tree again.
I think she is just doing it so we can keep track of her in the trees in case we did not see her up there doing whatever she is doing.
Sanisa's just having a difficult time processing what is going on. Like she's really upset that nobody's like talking about what they want to do. They're just running off and doing shit. So she's just kind of frustrated. She probably kicks at the ground a couple times and is muttering to herself right now, but also trying to keep an eye because try to catch her if she falls. So
mostly keeping track so if she does fall, I am not under her. That's what I'm doing.
Probably smarter.
That's a big brain moment.
Let's keep on going. I guess maybe she will see something. These are tree people after all.
Were they tree people or were they just that live in the trees? Because there's a difference, isn't there? Not that I know.
Honestly, she never answered my question whether or not they were humans or they were an animal. So at this point, it is all if we are in the Feywild, I have a feeling, flip of a coin, either or.
Would Sanisa know about the Feywild?
The Feywild might be told in like fairy tales from like being a small child.
Just because of her heritage, would she know like that portion of it, or?
I don't know. Why don't you roll a history check?
History. How about a 7?
Okay. Yeah. You may have known. You may have had that knowledge in the past, but right now, it's just. It's like at the tip of your tongue, and you like, yeah, I know the Feywild. It's familiar, but I just can't put your finger on it, and it could simply be because of the memory loss. You still do not have all of your memories.
Might I know about the Feywild?
From 100 feet up? Are you telling them, or are you asking me?
I'm asking you.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll a history check as well.
History. Natural 1.
Okay. You don't seem to be able to recall any knowledge of the Feywild.
Well, that's fine. Maybe I should start yelling for people up in trees.
I mean, you could do that. Or not. It's up to you.
Random question. Because they've lost their memory, would they not know the different languages that they speak? Or I only had her understand Sylvan because it was being spoken.
Mm-hmm.
But would she like be able to just start talking if?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have your languages still.
Chris starts shouting loudly in Sylvan.
And you hear from 100 feet away the voice of Chris shouting something. What are you shouting?
Hello, is anybody here? We're looking for someone.
We're all gonna die. Today is the day we die.
So I would like Renta and Sanisa. I need you to make perception checks. And roll one for Santo, and I'm rolling for Randy. That's a little better.
What? Oh God, that was bad. Bad roll. In the way that it cocked.
Yeah, no,
what
that's
am I rolling?
A perception.
Perception. 14.
Okay.
It's an 18 for Sinisa, and then I can't find Santos stuff. Oh, there he is. Wisdom. It's a -1, so he's got a 1.
Okay. Santo, I think, has found like some truffles.
Yeah.
And he's like just digging into the ground and snorting, trying to dig them up right now. But Sinisa and Renta, you both kind of you hear something, and Renta a little more because you've been very paranoid and have been keeping your eye on the shadows, and there is finally a shadow that moves, and you quickly move your head. You track it one way, and you see it kind of moving again, moving back and forth from tree to tree, seemingly coming closer to you. What are you doing?
I notice it for the first time, and once I actually see that it's actually something this time, unlike all the other times so far, as I see it starting to get closer, I sort of like slink down into more of a spring to action ready position.
Mm-hmm.
And I keeping an eye on this thing coming towards us. I look over to Sinisa and I say, look up ahead, a shadow approaching.
So I start paying attention, and I put my hand on my dagger, and I go, Santa, and get his attention and do like a head motion to get him to come closer to me.
Mm-hmm. And he will.
I want him to like to defend in front.
Oh shit, Randy. I totally forgot.
Yes, you got the wolf boy.
I look over at Randy, and I look at him and I say, I motion over towards like to get behind a tree where he could still see, and if he needs to, he can run out on a flank.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to load something and it's not.
And to not take damage,
loading.
because when he gets out of Wolf Boy, that's a whole different scene. You might be with him.
Oh no. How do I? So I don't want to do that. This is not what I wanted.
This was not it.
Nope. That's definitely where did my stats go? I apologize.
No, you don't need stats, just I'll tell you they're all
They all suck. Is that what it is?
They have a maxed out friendly stat.
Super maxed out friendly. Source book? What book is this from? I might have to actually go pull the book out.
It's from the Friends book.
From like the Super Friends book?
Oh, what was the name of that book? The Baby Monster book? They're from the Baby Monsters. They're all our friends.
The Baby Monster Bestiary.
That one. That's the book. You should just pull that one up real quick.
Just trying to see what it does.
I'm like shockingly worried right now. Maybe it's because I'm rolling like shit tonight.
Okay, we're gonna go with this. This works. It's fine. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So, you are preparing for this entity, this shadowy creature that is coming towards you, and as soon as it starts coming into the view of the orbs that that Chris had sent down to help illuminate the area for you as well, you can see this black humanoid creature. it's not an ape. It's not a man. It is absolutely hairless. Its face looks more like a skull with these jagged teeth. It has no nose, just 2 holes where a nose should have been. It is completely bald. And as it kind of jumps from one tree stump over to the other and just keeps moving closer towards you, it does now recognize that you have noticed it. And from its new position, it leaps at Sinisa, high or low? Pick high or low.
Low.
Okay. So it leaps over towards Rental, and you can see briefly it has long extended limbs, legs that look human, but whose feet look more demonic, more unnatural, with giant maybe 5-inch black claws extending from each of its 3 toes. Its hands are webbed more like a chicken's foot than anything, with massive claws from them as well. And its spine, it is hunched over and poking out from this black flesh, and it leaps at you. And I need you all now to roll initiative.
Well, since you've all been rolling like shit, I guess I just have to choose one of my 20s.
You gotta roll at some point.
Oh, it's time I did the other way. I'm happy about that. 18.
Okay.
9. Oh.
Kika?
I got a 7.
7. Okay. So, Choker. Oh, I gotta roll for Randy. That's a 5. Just dice rolls today. I keep wanting to call you Talil, Tara. I'm so sorry. It's not your character.
It's okay.
Sinisa with boop, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Santo, followed by Kika. You had a 7, yes? Okay. Followed by Chris, and then Randy. Okay. Toll, you are up first. You see this creature. You already knew it was coming, and it is coming right at you. It is horrifying. You have never seen anything like this. What you do?
Well, at least in this life. And so I, as it makes its leap towards me, I immediately take out my sword and I go for an attack on it as I meet it head on almost. Don't even let it get to me before I get to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I make the slashing attack towards it, which I'll do first before I say anything else. Like a story of my life, it's going to be a miss. Story of my life, 8.
No!
I'm sure that's a miss.
Oh.
And I swing towards it and I miss it and I look at it and I hiss back at it and I'm like, what are you?
Okay. And it does respond. So as you miss, and its body is kind of lithe, and it kind of swoops onto you now. You feel your bodies collide as you're trying to keep yourself up as this creature kind of slams into you. It reaches up to slash at you with its clawed hand. Ooh, that's a nat 17. What is your AC?
16.
16. Okay, so I'm not going to add. You are going to take. Ooh, that's not great. 7 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Okay. And then with its other hand, again, these massive webs, it's going to reach for your face and kind of almost swallow your face with its hand. Its webbing suctioning around you to the point where you can't breathe. I need you to roll a strength check.
It didn't answer me. I thought I was going to say something. A strength check?
Yeah.
Where are the numbers? Oh, they're on top.
Like a strength save, yeah.
15 plus 2. Save or check?
Either, or you're fine. If you rolled a nat 15, I rolled a 1.
Okay.
So tell me how you get out of this creature's grasp.
At this point, it's almost like, I don't know. It's like a very non-civil way of her fighting compared to what it was like in when we were fighting off the weasels.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone from this very polished way of fighting to a very almost feral way of fighting when I approached this thing the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in for like that very messy slash at it at first, and I missed. And so as it claws at me, I like just bare my teeth back at it. So when it covers my face, I almost like, as it comes to suction it, I meet the hand and I headbutt it right back.
Yes. Oh, it's so great. Oh, I love it. And the force, I don't think it was expecting it, but you managed to push it back for just a moment, and it kind of like snarls at you and rears ready to attack again. But it is Sinisa's turn.
Well, it's too damn close to do much, so
well, you're not engaged with it. It is
right.
Currently engaged with
Rental.
Yeah.
Santo's gonna charge.
Okay.
Fuck. I don't know what to add, so it's a natural 5 though.
Ooh, yeah, that's
not gonna do anything.
Yeah, even if you had a +5 at this point.
But as he moves to charge and goes past what the hell's my character's name? Sinisa's gonna take her dagger,
mm-hmm.
and she's gonna slash at the forearm that went and grabbed HOWL, and in a guttural, like, shock and horrified, in primordial, she's gonna say no.
Okay.
And slash.
Okay.
Please. And that's a 13.
Okay, a 13 will not hit. You manage to kind of like scrape the blade across, but despite how thin the creature looks, it's way more tougher than you assumed.
Daggers aren't her favorite anyway.
Anything else?
Can she move back without attack of opportunity?
No. She can move, but the creature could take an attack of opportunity.
She's going to stay within the range, but kind of rotate a bit so that she's more behind instead of at the side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
that's fine.
Prepare to hit again, I guess.
Okay. Chris, what are you up to? You hear this screeching from this creature. You can see this black form slashing down at your new companions below.
As my bonus action, I'm going to have my dancing light swirl around its head to sort of try to distract it, and then form a vaguely humanoid glowing figure next to it.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it might get surprised. But then I also, for my action, cast sleep above its head, so the radius will intersect just the creature.
Okay.
And sleep is I just roll some d8s and hope that I end up
high enough.
Yeah.
It's a gamble when it's a solo creature, but it can also be easy if it's a solo creature.
Yeah. 28 is what
Okay.
I got.
Okay. Unfortunately, that is not the character's or the creature's HP pool. So does it reduce any HP, or you had to hit
No.
more than it?
I had to hit more
Okay.
than its current HP.
Okay. Yeah. How? What does your magic look like when you do this?
I take out my big old citrine and I point it down towards the creature, and like a beam of sparkles shimmers down and pops right above its head.
Okay.
Also, do you want me to roll on the wild magic table?
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
You should just assume.
Do.
And here comes that level 3 fireball. Centered on you in a tree, though. Not sure that'll help anybody else.
Certainly won't help the tree.
No, it won't.
I cast mirror image.
Ooh, that's cool. What does this look like for Chris?
There are just 3 copies of her now, just sitting, chilling out in the tree.
I love it so. It's such a good spell. It's so good. Thank goodness it didn't kill anybody.
So far away.
So far away with 3 images of one person. That's great. That's great.
Can I have the images jump down to the ground?
Probably not. I would assume they'd
Okay.
have to be in some sort of radius to you, and maybe would just dissipate when getting hit, and they would for surely hit the ground. That would be a successful attack.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
Well, I used my action and my bonus action. So I'm just going to yell at it to try to distract it.
Okay.
Hey, stupid face. You look dumb.
An astute observation. As you shout that out, Randy's gonna jump into the fray, and God, don't let me roll for Randy. That's
Okay.
a no. So goes to take a bite out of the creature, but the creature just happened to kind of rearing up now to take a swing.
Wolves have pack tactics, so they get.
Yeah, they do. That's right. I
advantage.
told y'all to remind me of that shit. That's a little bit better, but not enough to hit the creature's AC, unfortunately. Under it by 3 points. But much better than an 8. So, unfortunately, Brandy misses, but we are back at the top of the order. Tall, you are up.
I continue staring this thing in the face as I go in for another attack in hopes that this one hits. Oh my god, for a second there I thought that was a 4 and I was really sad. Let's see, that's a 14 plus the attack plus 4, 18 to hit.
Yes, there you go. Get a good chunk out of this thing.
All right, and then that is a D10. Are you a D10? You're a D10. Who is a good 10? You're a good 10. You are a good 10. That is a 8 plus 2. That is 10 damage to
Ooh,
it.
Hey, all right. Nice. It kind of like squeals at you as your blade sinks into it, and it starts oozing this like purplish blood.
And I will just pull back and continue to stare at it, ready for its attack.
Okay. And it will. You are the creature that successfully attacked it. Everything else has just been rubbish. So it will go ahead and swing at you one more time. Oh God, no! That's 12.
No, that doesn't hit.
Okay. How do you block this? How do you move out of this creature's way?
I am now. I've gained a little bit more focus in my eyes when I went in to attack it. So when I pulled back, my focus is completely on its movements. And after seeing it jump from tree to tree through the shadows, I feel like I have its rhythm a little bit. So as I lunge into attack, I catch it on an off beat. So when I pull back, it's still a little bit off. So when I go to dodge, it's very easy for me to just see its big claw coming at me as I get out of the way.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, and because it missed you, it's not going to be able to make its other attack. So it is now Sinisa's turn.
Okay, first Santo's gonna wedge himself back in between, and then he's gonna use his tusk attack.
Okay.
17.
Yep, that'll hit.
Okay. Uh, 8 points.
Very nice.
And he's gonna grunt angrily. And then Sinisa's gonna try and fail to slash again with a 14.
Okay, yeah, unfortunately a 14 will not pierce through this creature's blackened flesh. Is there anything else that you can do?
Nope, she's a ranger and she's too close to do anything.
Okay. Chris, it is your turn.
Well, I'm a little disheartened that my sleep spell didn't work, so I'm going to go back to the good old sling.
Trusty slings.
Yep, that is an 18.
Okay, 18 will absolutely hit.
Nice. And I'm going to do my dinky little 1d4 plus 3.
Hey, it's still damage.
6 damage.
Nice, dinky little sling. It's doing some work. Fantastic. It hits it like right in like the nose area, like where there should be a nose, and it tinks right off. It actually almost like ricochets back into your face. It's this rock that just came from the sky, essentially. Great. Is there anything else that you can do, Chris?
I'm going to yell at it more in Sylvan and say, if you're not Brianna's, go away.
Who wants to roll for Randy?
I can roll for Randy. I can give Randy my professional level roll. Attack tactics. Ooh. So that is a dirty 20.
Very nice. That'll hit for sure. Even without the, I think it's a +1. So yeah, he hits. So go ahead and roll me 2d4.
+2.
+2.
And that is a 7 total, and the target creature must succeed a DC 11 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay.
Because wolves are pretty good.
Wolves are amazing, but that was a nat 19, so he is good to go there. He does have this wolf like snarling and trying to pull him down, but he kind of like kicks his leg out and kind of shakes the wolf from it for now. We are back up to the top of the order. Tall.
How's this thing looking?
It's hard to tell. You've never seen a creature like this, and it is still fighting.
All right. Well, we're going in for another swing. Woo! There's an 18 plus, I think, 4.
Yep, that hits.
All right. That's not a D10. You're a D10. Oh, that's where I put the dice. That's a 6 plus 2.
Okay, so 8.
8. Another 8 damage.
Another 8. Yeah. All right. You guys are doing some good work on this guy. Anything else you can do?
I'm gonna use. Let's see. Do I have the one? No, that is that one. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna for my bonus action. I'm gonna use second wind to give myself a little bit of a
Mhm.
pick me up here
Sure.
because
Also, you have
I
a
hurt.
you also have divine favor. So you can roll a d20 if you want to add it to your healing, or I can let you retroactively add it to your damage that you just did, if you forgot that you had that.
I'm kind of holding it in case
Oh.
somebody falls out of a tree from 200 feet above me. It's just on the off chance.
That's fair. That's really fair.
But I'm good.
Okay.
I rolled an 8 and back up to
Nice.
full.
Fantastic. Well done. Well done. It is now this creature's turn, and a little frustrated that like it can't seem to get another good hit on you. It's gonna whip its arm around and slash over at Sinisa. So Sinisa, good God, does a 14 hit.
That's my armor class.
Okay, so
But
it hits.
but because Santo's in front of her, does he take the damage or does she take it?
Did you use it as use his action as a defense action?
I said that he was gonna move in front of her, so yeah, as a defense. But he also
But he
attacked,
also
so-
attacked already. Yeah, so
Okay.
that would have been considered like his action.
Gotcha.
I can't remember if is it called defense or is it called protect? I can't.
It doesn't give me the thing, so I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I'll figure it.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so unfortunately, at least not this round. You can certainly have him set up for that next time. So that will hit you with 8 points of slashing damage. And it's going to swing its other arm at you as well. That webbed hand kind of coming right towards your face. That's a nat 17. I need you to make a strength. Did I say strength saving throw?
8
No.
-1.
Okie dokie. So as this hand is basically enveloping your face, it is pitch black. It smells of things that you have never smelled before, and all it smells like is fear at this point. As the webbing kind of shifts and makes this sucking sound against your flesh, it feels like it is clinging to it, and the air is literally being pulled from your mouth and from your nose. You are currently choking and grappled. That's its turn.
Cool.
Chris. No, Sinisa, it's your turn.
Can I actually attack while choking and dying?
You are grappled, so you can try to break free of the grapple.
Okay.
That's by rolling strength.
Natural 1.
Okay.
Santo's gonna try to charge again.
Okay, so he would have to pull back, but the creature currently cannot make an opportunity attack because he's currently grappled. So he's able to use some of his movement to move back and to run into the creature.
Maybe. That was almost really cool.
He hasn't successfully done that charge attack.
No,
yet.
17 though. It was almost a nat 20, which was cool.
Okay.
But 17.
17. Okay. Hang on. I'm trying to pull up grapple rules real quick. Just use the target by making a grapple check instead of an attack roll. Strength contested. Yeah. Yep. Succeeded. Okay. Okay. And what was the? He attacked anyways though. What was it? I'm sorry.
It was a 17 for a charge.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that successfully hits. Go ahead and describe what happens, and then go ahead and let me know what the damage is. And any other
So
effect.
Santo, seeing this, obviously is a little freaked out, pulls back, and after giving a few kicks to the ground and grunting, he charges forward and right into the side of the creature.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. This is a lot of damage, so I got to figure out what I'm doing.
Okay, do the damage.
Let's see. Four. It's 12. 15. And I dropped my dice. Landed on 2. Okay,
You
so
can re-roll the dice that fall on the ground.
it's fine. That's the last one. So it's 15 points of damage, and he needs to succeed on a DC 11 strength
Okay.
or be knocked prone.
Okay. That is a 7.
Prone, bitch.
So go ahead and explain how Santo knocks this creature on its ass.
Well, I think Santo, seeing that Sinisa's actually in danger this time around, really charges himself up and just barrels into this creature full force, moving into it with the momentum to fall basically with the creature and then peel off and grunt and kick at the ground as if he's rubbing up to do it again if it doesn't let go.
Okay. So it does. It has to let go of your face, and once it does, you gasp deeply, trying to get some air back into you. Your vision blurred, your limbs and joints just kind of like stiff from the lack of oxygen. And the creature is now laying on the ground, kind of like squealing and thrashing at this boar who has gouged him with his tusks. He's looking a little rough now. With that being said, Randy's going to take a bite at the creature on the ground. Ooh, that's good. That's going to hit. Not in that 20, though, but we'll take it. And that's Suni. That's a 1. That's a 6. So 7. 9. Take 9 more additional points of damage as he just sinks his teeth deep into a flailing leg. Yes, Kiko.
What about my turn?
Did we... Son of a bitch. I'm so sorry. Chris, please go. Enjoy the additional 9 damage.
I'm gonna do another sling attack because it's worked out so far.
It's been an incredibly reliable attack, yes. And doing some good damage too with it.
Yeah, that is a 24 to hit.
Oh, goodness, yes.
And that is 6 damage.
Okay, another good hit. Yeah, it's starting to look pretty rough now. The areas that has been slashed just continuously seem to be bleeding. There is purple blood all over the place at this point. The Santo is kind of covered it. Randy is covered in it. It's not looking pretty. Now we are back up to the top of the order. Tall, it is your turn.
All right. This guy is still on the ground, eh?
Yes.
Oh boy, things are about to get spicy.
Do it.
Up in this, what is it? Advantage when they're on the ground?
Yep.
All right.
Yep, that's a prone creature.
Ooh, an 18 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Let's see. And then I'm going to use my my second, no, not second wind, action surge to hit him again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so
Ooh,
many dice.
Spicy. 17 plus 4, 21 to hit.
Woohoo! Yes. You are rocking.
All right. So I'm going to do the versatile hit. So this will just be a D8. So for whatever reason, I have a better plus on this one. All right, so that is a 6 and that is a 4. So that's 10 plus 8. That is 18 for both strikes.
How would you like to kill this creature? That was some whammo damage. Well done. Go kill this thing, please.
So after, as it disengages for me to go attack it's Anissa, I look affronted almost, like, hold up here, we were fighting. And I'm like, get back here. And then especially after it grappled to Nisa, it like really pissed me off. But then Sansa took it down. And I got like this very like feral glint in my eye when I saw it go down. And almost as if I had done this before, I come over to it and I stab once, or I slice it once on the ground. And then when I come back, I stab straight down where its throat would be, and I go down with the sword, putting all of my weight onto it. And then in Infernal, next to its head, I'll say, I'll see your soul in the hells. And I kill it like that.
Oh, dear God. Okay. So as you are slamming your sword into it, just straight down with both hands, again, this is kind of a soft earth, and you feel the blade go through and through the neck, and it gets shoved into the dirt, probably about a good foot down just from your sheer force. And the limbs of the creature stop thrashing around, but the head is still kind of moving and twitching a bit, even though your blade is still pierced through it. And while it doesn't seem to have eyes that could pinpoint whether or not they are directly staring at you, this horrific creature begins to kind of almost deflate, and as if from the rest of the wounds that you had created from it, its blood is just leaving its body, and the smaller and more shriveled it becomes, the more the blood starts seeping into the earth itself. What are y'all doing?
Well, that's not suspicious or scary at all.
Sinisa's still kind of staggered backwards from the whole scene, and is trying to just breathe and not die again for the second time in a couple of hours.
Do you guys live? Did we win?
We lived, sort of, kind of, and she's just gonna start to kind of sit down, and Santo's gonna come and try to help her calm the hell down.
Should I do anything from up here?
Look out to see if any more are coming.
Okay, got it.
It's like yank out my sword.
And the creature like shrills for
And
I'll
take another hit to slice off its head.
Okay, yeah.
Because I don't trust it. I trust this not at all.
You do it, and the blood just like it's kind of pumps out.
Kick the head away. I don't trust this. I'm so worried about this thing.
It's pretty horrific. Even though you don't have memories, there is just something incredibly abhorrent about this creature. Very, very unnatural, and it is incredibly unsettling to each of you.
What kind of creature is this?
It is an abhorrent. How do I say that word?
Aberrant?
Aberrant? Is that how you say the word?
I'd have to see how it's spelled, but I believe you.
Yeah. It's an unnatural creature.
Not a monstrosity, though.
No.
Okay.
Is it an abomination?
Is that the proper term for it? Maybe.
That's a monster class.
Yes. Then that. I thought it was aberrant. ABR. Pull it up. Oh, yeah, it is aberration. Words. I have so many tabs open I couldn't find which creature it was. Yeah, it's an aberration.
So I'm gonna do a good lookout and pretend to be a crow now.
Thank you,
To not.
Are your images still up? How long is that up?
Let me check here.
Are you guys just like 3 crow gals chilling in the tree?
Yeah, four old Chris's chilling in a tree. It lasts only a minute. They poof out of existence after a little bit, but she's still, doing standard crow call to pretend to be a crow while she's looking out.
Since you are up top and looking out, though, you are going to notice you almost blink, and you have to blink again because you're not sure if you saw the tree move or no, wait, you are certainly noticing that the tree close to Sinisa and Rental is peeling. It's as some of the bark is being pulled away by...
Look out for that tree!
George?
I have my dancing lights like float over to the tree and point like an arrow.
Yeah, and you can notice this phenomenon as well, and it is indeed the bark kind of pulling away some of the little branches that were starting to grow from it, with the leaves and moss kind of covering all over it, pull again away from this tree, and standing before you is maybe about a 7-foot figure of a now humanoid shaped woman who's just completely covered in bark, and the closer that she gets to you with the light shining, some facial features start emerging as the bark kind of disappears from the majority of her body. She looks like a tree herself, and she stares at the two of you and the 2 animals down with you as well. With these,
I start climbing down this tree furiously.
As soon as Chris tells us that there's something in the tree and the tree is peeling away, I immediately go to stand in front of Sinisa, who I'm assuming is looking rough.
Yes.
Who's
standing up and backing away again to try to get space so she can use her fucking arrows this time.
I stand in front of her with my hand. Well, I guess I'm still holding my sword. I don't trust this fucking dead thing at all. So I'm just like standing already at a ready.
And I got a 16 for getting down this tree.
hey!
This is why we let you climb the trees.
Right? Kika could do whatever because Kika rolls well.
But she pretends to fall the last 5 feet behind you guys, so you guys get scared for a second.
I look at this thing in front of us, and I ask it the same thing that I asked the creature who pounced at me, except the thing I actually wanted to ask it. My brain was asking, "What are you?" But I wanted to say, "Who are you?" So, who are you? I say.
And she looks to you again with these very soft brown eyes that seem to have a slight glow about them. I am Briaris.
Oh, it's pronounced Briaris. Okay. I was confused. And I immediately walk up to her and extend my hand.
She is a bit taken aback by this sudden gesture. She moves with a unique graceness, like when a gentle breeze pushes through a tree and the branches kind of just sway and the leaves flutter, and she moves in that nature. And as you jut your hand in front of her, she slowly looks down to it, her whole body moving any time she has to make a movement. And just looks at the hand.
To gesture of friendship, you put your hand into my hand, and then we shake them a little bit.
But your hand is empty.
Exactly. It's supposed to show that your hand is empty, as to symbolically gesture that you are not holding any weapons against the other person, and thusly have no ill intent for them.
I know you have no ill intent. You harmed this creature and not the forest.
That creature was being very mean.
That creature is truly a horror and a plague to these woods.
Yes. Oh, we were looking for you.
Why?
We were told that you can help us get our memories back.
Tarova the Old sent us your way, ma'am.
Tarova.
Yeah, she's a kind lady, lives in a mushroom. I'm so hurt right now. This thing did a number on me, I'm telling you.
Do you require aid?
I don't want to be a burden on nobody at any point, but if you can spare.
Please allow me. And she's going to kind of move her arms slowly and extend them towards you. And instead of arms actually like just being arms, like I extend my arm and I'm limited here, it looks like it is growing, and you can hear kind of like the crackling of bark as the arm just kind of extends to make up the difference, by maybe like an inch or two towards Sinisa. And you can go ahead and take... Oh, that's pretty good. 9 points of health back.
Full health. Thank you so much, ma'am. That feels mighty good.
Yeah, you feel that like sense of warmth, kind of just overcoming the wounded areas that you had sustained throughout combat. Is very, very pleasing. There's almost even like a scent of like eucalyptus kind of emanating from the branched hands that were around you, but the scent dissipates as she withdraws her hands. The forest will always return to those who have helped it. What brings you here? You do not look as though you are from this area.
No, I'm from a small village. Don't know how we got here, but we came here to get our memories back because we lost them somewhere. And we need them back so we can remember how we got here.
That is most peculiar.
Yeah, all I got is this knife with my name on it, few things, and a tattoo. And she shows the person her tattoo.
Well, I could perhaps help you obtain your memories. We have dealt with this before, but I would require a small favor in exchange.
Do you use to get flowers?
No, child. I can make flowers.
Do you need blood?
Do you ask that?
Yeah.
And I give her that look. I'm just like I've been very intensely looking at this lady, just not knowing what to, whether to trust it or not. And then you say, "Or blood," and I look over at you like immediately. I'm just like, "What?"
Duplicating that look.
So, the creature earnestly, looks at you, Chris. It is not the blood that I seek, though I do wish it to be spilled.
Of what?
Is it another monster thing?
I would call it worse than a monster.
An abomination?
It is a disease that desecrates our home here. My core, and she kind of like gestures to her chest, to the center of her chest, like implying her heart, feels shattered, fragmented by a foul being whose cursed existence now infects all life in the hollow. Long have I protected each and every root, and every seed, and every blossom. I defend each creature here who finds refuge, and anyone who calls the hollow their home. But no longer can I alone stand watch while this wretched beast desecrates my home. He brings with him the echoes of disease, horror, and death. I can feel it in my vines. Spill his blood, and I will give you what you seek. And like the intensity in her voice picks up as she explains the story to you. And you can see in between some of the cracks of the bark, it almost starts illuminating like a deep green the more that she was speaking.
Well, I'm not big on fighting, but if you need it, I will do a good solid try.
I must warn you then. You should use the utmost caution. This thing doesn't even deserve to be called a thing. Do not let it sink its teeth into your flesh. As soon as it tastes you, you will be worthless to me, considered nothing more but scourge to this forest. And if the curse doesn't take you over first, I will. And she looks very serious.
So we should all climb trees and attack it from the trees.
I don't care how you take down this cursed creature.
Well, I'd do if you're going to have to kill us if we do it wrong.
Then do not do it wrong, as you say.
What is this person thing?
And like, again, that dark green kind of flares inside of her. I will not speak his name. Anyone who utters it here in these woods is doomed to be slain.
I don't care what its name is. I care what it is.
It is a cursed creature, one who eats hearts.
So that's a fairy tale. It's great.
Can you maybe tell us a little bit what it looks like so we know we're killing the right thing?
Sounds like my ex-boyfriend.
Sounds like her ex-boyfriend, apparently. Little detail be good, maybe.
He's tall. Much taller than any of you here. And he presents more like a bear. Are you familiar with bears?
I am. Brown, black. Pretty, yeah.
This one is brown, but with a gray stripe, and she starts gesturing and kind of caresses her face and pushes back against this large piece of bark that kind of twists and binds to make this braided hair. In this region, it is white. You can detect him from any other bear lurking in this forest. But beware, he is cunning with his words. You should not trust a thing that this vile tongue may speak of. Those arrows always shoot in my ear, and it's so weird. Thank you for the follow. Welcome.
So we got ourselves a talking bear that transfers a curse after he bites us if he doesn't eat our heart first. Am I getting that?
To call him a bear would be a great injustice to bears themselves.
Is he sort of like a werewolf, but for bears?
I
A
suppose.
werebear, one might say.
I was going to say bear wolf, but yours is better.
It's got 4 paws, but just the head of a bear. It's like the body of a wolf, and there's the bear head. This is an avatar, okay? Did we break Kika? So, will you do this?
You can heal. And again, I'm going to thank you for that. But we really don't know anything about anybody in this place. And we were just told that you could help us with our memories. Is there any way that you could prove that or help us a little bit? You're trying to send strangers off with no memory. And who knows what other dangers we might face. And at your word. I just don't know how good your word is.
She kind of grins and slowly reaches a slightly leafy branched hand out to you and touches your forehead. And I would like you to
Personal space.
please make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, my dice hate me tonight. My dice hate me tonight. Wisdom. Oh. That's a 7.
Okay. So you don't feel anything. But as she starts speaking again, she happens to mention your favorite food. But not just your favorite food, a specific meal that was often made for you in celebration by a family member who is beloved. And she relays this to you as she slowly withdraws her finger. Is that enough?
You know, that's a little unsettling for somebody who's just kind of remembering who they are. Kind of throw that in their face is a little upsetting, but yeah, that's great. You're magical, I get it.
I can bring back all of your memories, But I do require this in return. It is a fair price. There are not many.
Do you need his
Yes,
head? Do you need his head? Do you want blood? Do you just want him dead?
Bring me
Can
his heart. That should be sufficient.
I'm down for that. Sounds
we
good.
get half our payment now and half one more on completion?
No. That is not how these woods work. You are welcome guests here. I could easily have the trees uproot and pull you down into the earth below.
Why don't you have the trees like throw rocks at the thing?
I am not disturbing them for these matters. They do not need to be touched by this creature. It would dirty them. I will not risk the life of my trees.
No, only that of strangers. Before you make me upset, and I already am, where will we find you for our payment afterwards?
You may return here. I will find you.
And where will we find to eat?
You can find the creature by heading through the woods in this direction. Follow the areas where there are less creatures. You will find that there are very few rabbits, very few snakes on the ground in these regions, but additionally, you will notice black marks on the trees. Find those markings, and you will find the creature's lair.
And does it have any lackeys that work for it?
Only him.
So there will be lackeys. Okay, great. Cool. Well, will we find you? We will find you in your grove of safety. We will be back with its heart, I guess.
Fair tidings, then. And remember, do not let it infect you.
Well, before you go, you wouldn't happen to have a healing something that we could take with us? Because things in this forest seem to want to eat me, and I'm having a bad time with that right now.
Mortals. And she reaches up into her hair and plucks out a leaf and hands it over to you. Consume this once, and you will feel rejuvenated.
But not high. Not high. Okay, thank you.
Will not make you taller. How strange.
She's gonna pocket the leaf and thank her again.
Consider it a standard healing potion.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Mm-hmm. Good luck. And she's going to take a step back into the tree, and just her form begins to meld back into her hair kind of wrapping around her arms, stretching out, and eventually she becomes one with the tree and just disappears. What y'all doing?
So we're gonna go kill a bear now?
I was already walking.
Okay.
I was done with this conversation a while ago.
I feel like Santo was too. Like Santo's just like kind of strolling with you. Like I'm bored.
I
What's
agree.
going on?
I agree. Well, I'm going to say that to myself then and look over to Chris. And you ready to go too?
I still want to formulate a plan to make sure none of us gets bitten.
I agree with you.
Especially not Santo or Randy.
Yeah, they need some protection, don't they?
Yeah.
You seem pretty magical. Do you have any armor spells, maybe?
Oh, I'm not magical. My rock is magical.
That's pretty rock. Is that pretty rock got any armor spells?
She sort of looks at it, shakes it next to her ear, sniffs it. Just says, I don't think so.
Well, we're out of luck, out of options, and we don't have any place to call safety right now. I don't know what else we can do but go forward.
I just wish this terrain was something we could work with a bit more.
Me too.
If we could more easily get up in the trees, we could just shoot down at the thing. But wait, is it brown bears or black bears that can climb trees?
In-game question or out-game question?
Well, this is what Chris is saying.
Out game, I'm going to ask because I don't know, but I feel like Sunisa would.
I believe it's black bears that can climb trees. Correct me if I'm wrong, friends.
I'm going to go with black, so I believe it's black bears.
Okay, and we're gonna fight a brown bear. So the
Yes.
tree strategy would work.
If they weren't 1,000 feet tall.
Yeah. I wish there were some lower branches so we can get up.
She did say that the trees are going to get darker as we go through. They might get smaller or at least have some advantages of climbing. We won't know until we get there, though.
Or maybe they might get more sinister.
That is very possible. You have some odd things to say sometimes, and I don't know how to take that.
Most people don't.
Do you remember that?
I'm assuming.
That's a good assumption. We should probably catch up to the others.
Okay. She runs.
Okay. So you are all kind of collective together with maybe a plan of action protection?
Not at all.
No, there was no plan that was actually devised. Attempted, but not. I would like you all to go ahead and make me a survival check.
19.
Okay.
14.
Okay.
No proficiency.
13.
All right, so Toll and Chris, you both notice as you are kind of walking on your path in the direction that Briaris pointed you out towards. There does happen to be the trees all look identical. It's very hard to tell them apart, but there's one in particular that you can see this kind of blackened stain where there is a claw mark embedded into it.
I really want to inspect that, but I'm afraid if I do, I might get infected with something.
Well, it said it's bite. I've already been clawed by the other thing, and I seem to be fine.
But they seem to be two different things. Maybe the other thing was something that was infected by the bear thing.
possible. All the useless bark lady told us was that it left marks on the trees as we got closer.
Okay, so we're going the right direction at least.
It would seem so. Are there also less animals about?
I mean, based on your rolls, it still seems pretty
Lively.
Yeah. You can still see some critters kind of like scurrying around on the floor. Nothing quite scampering in opposite directions or anything of that sort quite yet. You'll have to continue a little further, hoping that you can find the next one.
If it looks like we are just on the outskirt of the circle, so I guess onward we go. We can't really make a plan until we see where we will be approaching this beast.
Okay, so we should continue forward, but stealthily.
Go ahead.
I thought all of us should.
I am wearing a lot of chain. I can certainly try to stealth.
Okay, I'll scout ahead.
You ask that as I go, as I turn to look at you.
Okay, so I will scout ahead stealthily.
Okay, please go ahead and roll a stealth check.
It was almost an 8, but it was a natural 20.
You are seemingly hidden, as far as you can tell. Though, to be fair, there are not many hiding places. You kind of have to lurk from one tree to another tree. It's kind of easy to tell where people are. There's a couple maybe bigger bush areas that you could kind of like sit and kind of hide in and watch and wait. But hiding here is quite difficult. But you do make your way a little bit ahead, and you will notice another marking, a claw mark across the bark of a tree that is blackened.
I'll motion for the others to come here, and then I'm going to go scout ahead a little more.
Okay. And yeah, the deeper in that you continue to go, the closer that you can start seeing these marks. And it's not just like in a straight line. You kind of have to wander off, and then at one point maybe you see 2 trees that have this marking on it. But still based off of your survival rolls earlier, the forest has gotten quieter. There's less chittering of the creatures that normally roam out this way.
And I pop up between my 2 companions and say, well, we are definitely going in the right direction. I think we're probably going to be there soon. And then she goes back into the shadows and continues forward.
Okay. Chris, I would like you to make one last survival check for me.
What survival?
Are the trees still very thick, or have they thinned out as we've gotten closer?
The trees themselves seem pretty similar. There's really nothing indicating that these trees are different than the ones that you had previously been wandering through when you had first met Briaris. The only difference is that maybe there's like one knocked down over here and another one over there or something. Some of them have this marking on it. They otherwise look the same. Still incredibly tall. You can't tell if it is daytime or nighttime at this point. No light is shining through.
I got an 18 that time.
Okay, fantastic. So as you are kind of pushing ahead out in the distance through like the shadowing of the trees, you do notice a silhouette of what looks to be some type of mound. And upon closer inspection, it does appear to be a couple massive logs that are kind of stacked on one another. There is a little plume of smoke kind of coming from the front, where there is a pot that is held up on a triangle sort of sticks, as if a fire underneath it and cooking. So you currently see what looks to be like a hut of some sort, made from whatever has fallen from this forest. What are you doing?
Gonna sneak back and say, there's a hut up there. I think that's where we're supposed to go. We could maybe set the hut on fire and run away.
However, we need a tart.
I think a skull would work as well.
I do not know. These Fae are quite tricky when working with them.
And she specifically asked for the heart.
But I don't want any of us to get infected and or dead.
A mood.
Maybe we should look at what we have in our equipment and see if anything would help. Yeah, I got my good old rope. I got my tinder box. I got some torches. Got my water skin, some rations, a mess kit, bedroll, the standard stuff.
Yes.
Same.
Pretty much almost to the T. Exactly the same thing, except I have a crossbow.
Maybe we could tie our ropes to a big log and then tie the other ends of our ropes to a tree and swing a big log at it.
Did any of the trees seem to get smaller further up?
Are there less animals around?
There are less animals around. It is a much quieter wooded area.
Is there any unique landmark close by or unique thing in the radius of this hut?
There might be significantly more fallen trees.
And what about what? 200, 300, several more 100 feet away from the hut?
Yeah, I would say probably about 300 feet away from the hut at this point.
Maybe we could find something poisonous and slip it into the thing's food while it's distracted by something. You're muted.
You're muted.
Maybe we could just go knock on the door. How do we even know that a bear is living in a hut?
Well,
All the signs are here.
if the bear is living in the hut and you knock on the door, what if it just opens the door and immediately tries to bite you?
There's this game in my village, and what we used to do is, from a memory that I actually got, is we used to run up to doors, knock on them, and then run away before they opened them. Maybe we could do something like that.
Okay. And she goes off to do that.
No, but then what do we do afterwards? No, that was not point.
That was a suggestion. Wait, come back.
I get approximately, let's see, how far away can I shoot this thing? I get approximately the closest I can get, but the farthest away I can get to shoot a crossbow.
Okay. So you could kind of prepare yourselves to set up behind trees as Chris bravely or foolishly starts walking towards the hut. Sneaking. Okay, sneaking. Still using your stealth check from earlier.
Yes.
And the area around the hut is relatively clean. Again, it's a bunch of massive logs from the forest. Some of them still kind of broken, so maybe it was one that just had naturally fallen. Excuse me. And it is, bound together by leaves or sinew from animals. And there is a door. There's a little window. It looks like somebody has made this place a home. It's not large, but a bear could certainly fit inside of it. Do you knock?
I think first I'm going to try to peek in the window.
Okay. So you kind of look inside the window, and it's small, so it's kind of hard to see fully off to one side. But you do notice there is like some furs that are just kind of like lined up on the floor. Another area that has what looks to be like a little table and a chair. There might be some like trinkets kind of like stuck onto the wall. A lot of the stuff that's inside this interior is based from whatever this creature could have rummaged from the forest floor, which is pretty difficult to do here. There really isn't much, but there might be like some jewelry that's kind of like sitting off on a countertop, or just some weird design that's probably made out of some type of creature's bones, things like that.
Okay, I want to check out the door now, and does it look like it opens outwards or inwards?
The door will open inwards.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to take out 2 torches, quietly work them into the ground on either side of the door, and then tie my rope between them.
Okay.
And then I will knock on the door and run away.
So you hear the satisfying sound. Like, I mean, this echoes through the forest because it's quiet. You've got Renta and Sinisa and Randy and Santo all just kind of like waiting, holding their breath, hoping that nothing happens. And without the sound of other animals around in this forest, you just hear like, and you scamper away. And we're going to end there for tonight. We've hit our 3-hour mark.
Aww.
Oh my gosh. Y'all did some stuff today. You got some memories back. You got to say goodbye to Rova. You got to meet Brialis. No, I'm saying that. God, that sounds like a fucking penis peel. Isn't that like Cialis? Briaris is her name. Say it properly. And you are now knocking on the door of a potential werebear. I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. Shout out to Phoenix Waki and Chris Greer, who had donated some bits today. PB, you still please mark somewhere on your character sheet that you have a d20 to use for a healing or a damage roll. That's added on top of what you would already have done. So that is awesome. Thank you so much for using or taking advantage, our lovely viewers, of the divine favor. And thank you everybody for following. Wow, you're just knocking on a sleeping bear's door. That's cool. We're going to go around to everybody here tonight. Please let them know who you are, where they can find you, and what projects you are part of. We will go ahead and start. Let's go with Kika, who's literally waking a sleeping bear. Hey, Kika.
Hey, Kika. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/KikaVO and on various streams across the Twitchverse. Following me on Twitter is the best way to keep track of shows that I'm on, because I always retweet the tweets from the streams. You could also find me at PAX West running a few panels. I run panels at pretty much every PAX now, and they're all typically inclusivity panels and all that. And you can also find me on Patreon at patreon.com/baking, where I make fantasy inspired baked goods. And also at higher tiers, you can get some recipes that my parents used to cook for me when I was little.
That's pretty dang old cool. Well, thanks for coming out tonight, Kika. Always a pleasure having you around. Hi, Tara. How you doing, babe?
Hi, I'm Tara. The only place you can find me is on Twitter at Shyndust, and that's SHYNDUST, and here on Mondays.
Yeah, I love getting to be able to play with you because we haven't been able to play in a while. By the way, that's my wife. Isn't she adorable? Hey, PB, what's up?
Hi, I am PB from my PB Plays Inside. I am not Gnome's wife. Instead, I'm a different person. You can find me on Twitter and on Twitch. On Twitter, I talk about all the shows I am on also, because I am a little bit busy these upcoming weeks. And I stream. That's the other thing I do. I stream on Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do variety gaming. Right now, we are going through Borderlands 2. I was so sad I was sick last week, the moment after the Borderlands 2 thing got announced, because I really wanted to play that DLC. But we're playing it this week. So if you want to see more of that, Borderlands 2, hopefully doing that DLC. I'm gonna have to find the character that I could do it on because I think it's a higher level DLC. We'll find out tomorrow. But yeah, that's what I'm doing this week and for somewhat the foreseeable future until I finish the game.
That's awesome. That'll be a fun one. I'm gonna have to try to catch that stream. You stream at weird hours. Normally I'm at work.
It's 6 to 9 p.m. Central Standard, so that is
it's it's thing. We're doing things, but thank you so much. I definitely enjoyed your final killing blow there. That was pretty dang epic. Loved it. My name is Gnome. You can find me everywhere on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Over at Nomadic. I don't know. Did I say things right? Probably not. I do a whole bunch of things over on the interwebs. I play games on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and Wednesday's actually a double feature. You can catch me over on Encounter Roleplay with a Little Busters show, which is a Tales from the Loop, although we've switched on over to Things from the Flood. So we're playing in 1992, Chicago, Illinois. Things are drama. And that's all I'm going to say. There's so much fucking drama right now. It's great. And then also on Wednesdays, you can find me in a pre-recorded show, which is also a podcast called Rise of the Demigods, where it's an all LGBT group doing the D&D 5e in the world of Calgun, which is the setting that the Gods Fall podcast takes place in. And then Thursdays, I am on Unmade Gaming's channel with Men of Letters, which is a diesel punk eldritch horror type game using the Cypher system, and it is super fun. I think we only have 2 episodes left of season 1 for that, but it is quite a wild and crazy ride. Loving it over there as well. But thanks everybody once again so much for hanging out with us today. Really appreciate you, all the comments that you say in the chat, the bits, all that stuff. We love seeing that and seeing your reactions to some things that go on. So sincerely, thank you so much. It means a lot to me that you are all here kind of hanging out with us tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. We are going to go ahead and sign off, and we'll be back next week with our Furbolg, who hopefully won't be Randy the Wolf anymore. So if it was your first time joining in, you're going to meet a new character, essentially, and it's going to be great. We'll see you next time. Bye. Maybe I had the things all set up. Yep, it's keep waving. Hi, what's up?